Hello world, I'm coming to you live from my bedroom and I'm here to do Wentworth's best episodes of all time. Season 1 is really simple. Season 1's best episode is the final episode of the season. And I picked this episode because the way that it ends, all right, with B. Smith finally getting Jax right in the neck with a pen.
She was better off dead.
That moment will live on in Wentworth history as being one of the best moments, number one. And because it was one of the best moments, it's the best episode. That moment, B killing Jax, was everything. I couldn't have asked for more in that final episode. Her killing Jax in a moment of rage. You know what I'm saying? When she walks down the corridors with Linda and Fletcher, perhaps. Or maybe it was Linda and Will. I don't fucking know. They're walking her down the damn corridors of Wentworth. The women are congregated in the corner looking at B's bloody t-shirt as she's walking down the hall. She gives Frankie that infamous look like, yeah, bitch, I killed Jax, not you. So, yep, season 1, the final episode, best episode of the season. Season 2, best episode, is also the last episode. Well, it wasn't the last episode, it was the last 2 episodes. So some of these seasons are going to have more than one best episode in it, and that's okay. The last 2 episodes of season 2 were fucking great and so suspenseful, and it was like, yo, what the fuck is going on here? So we first have one of the best fights ever fought on Wentworth, which was the fight between B and Frankie in the laundry, the fight for top dog, in which B was victorious in such a way. B really was the underdog of Wentworth, and she rose to the occasion each and every time that she needed to. We had the fight between Frankie and B, and then what happens? B's escape, which was everything and more. Then we have the culmination of this fight for top dog. The escaping of the hospital leads to the killing of Braden Holtz, which was just, you know, the cherry on top as far as B's quest for revenge goes. I didn't know what was going on, and then as I'm watching the events unfold was one of the best moments of Wentworth viewing, for me anyway. And so yeah, the last 2 episodes of season 2. Season 3's best episode for me was, again, the final episode. Okay, first of all, I'm in my Christmas pajamas. This is a onesie. Like, there's... Okay, I love this thing. It's so comfortable. Mad shit was going on in season 3, all right? We had Joan Ferguson at her wildest as far as her lunacy goes, right?
Failings. Is that what they are?
Yes,
oh, well,
failings.
I am so sorry to have been a disappointment to you.
We had the kidnapping of baby Joshua by the child murderer, Jess. We had Joan rescue Josh and kill Jess Warner in the process. Then we have the fire that Joan inadvertently started in Wentworth, fucking herself up the ass and almost killing her, Frankie, and B. Frankie and Joan trapped in the fire together, and Frankie talking her shit to Joan no matter what, which was, I loved it.
Got any bright ideas, bitch?
Fucking Will saving Joan, and Joan was just like too busy talking shit to him to even be concerned about salvation. Joan's arrest, okay, her doing the walk of shame. The best part of that episode was the ending with Frankie's release, and she's like, fuck this place. And she's left, and Bridget was there to greet her with the car and the leather jackets, and it was just a moment.
Fuck this place!
And it was, for me, the best episode of the entire season. Season 4, the best episode for me was, you want to take a guess? The last episode. The reason why this episode for me was so fantastic and so special is because it's the episode where finally, fucking finally, B, bloop, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to be vulgar, but she came all in her pants, okay? It was the moment that Ali serviced B's body in a way that B's body had never been serviced before. That moment where B and Ali fuck, you know what I'm saying? They had already fallen in love. Oh, it was fantastic. Only for it to be ripped from her hands, okay? At the hands of Joan Ferguson. Because as we all know, Joan Ferguson tried to kill Ali in showers. It didn't work. Which I thought was bizarre, and I'm going to tell you why. First of all, I just have to say this. Every other time any of the inmates were hot-shotted in Wentworth Prison, they died, okay? There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Nobody survived that shit. They would start foaming at the mouth. Not foaming. Like throwing up. They would throw up. They would choke on their puke. It happened to Debbie. It happened to fucking... What was that bitch's name? Cindy Lou. It happened to Simo. These bitches died instantaneously. It wasn't like a thing where they had all the time in the world to find the body, take them to the hospital, and save them. No. That shit did not happen. So for me, I thought it was a little unbelievable that Ali survived the hot shot because Joan was going to make sure that she had the proper dosage in that needle, okay? She wasn't just going to give her a low dosage of the gear. Nah. So I didn't buy that, but it was like, whatever. She had to live in order for what was coming next to happen. So I understand, but it didn't make sense to me. Besides B and Ali fucking and falling in love, we also had B attacking Kaz in Kaz's unit. That was a great fight, you know what I'm saying? And in that moment, we just, you know, they both really gave up on the fight and realized that they were fighting for nothing because they both truly loved and cared about Ali. The best part about this episode is the whole setup. You know what I'm saying? The whole B deciding to fucking sacrifice her flesh and her blood for the greater good of all of the women. You know what I'm saying? She says, oh, wait a second. I know that Joan has hot-shotted the love of my life. And I'm not letting this bitch get away with it. So the whole Joan being set up in no man's land, you know what I'm saying? She comes out thinking freedom is hers. And then boom, there goes B. Smith. Like, nah, bitch. Freedom is not yours. Your freedom ends in a couple of minutes. And so she proceeds to egg on Joan Ferguson to the point where, you know, we all know what happened. We all know what happened. B sacrificed herself, okay? And Joan killed her. You know, these were B's wants and wishes. Joan did what B was looking for her to do. And in return, she loses her freedom, okay? Ends up right back in fucking Wentworth for murder this time. Murder that she's clearly committed. And that was just such a fucking glorious moment. Even though we had to say goodbye to our beloved B. Smith, it was worth it to see Joan back in Wentworth. I love Joan so much. I just want to say that. All right, so now season 5. So season 5 has 2 best episodes, and the episodes are episode 1, okay? Which in episode 1, we see the aftermath of B's death. We see her funeral. And when I tell you I cannot watch that scene, or I can watch it, I can't listen to it because the song just fucking kills me.
Ooh, Laura, you're more than a superstar.
I can't believe I was able to sing that line without crying. But that's not the part that gets me. It's the part where she starts talking about the train that crashes her heart. Such a beautiful lyric. Not only did we have B's funeral, okay, which was a great scene because I loved seeing Vera and Will Jackson and Frankie Doyle on the outside together. But I liked how, you know, they came to each other and spoke, Frankie and Will did, you know. Like, yeah, she was an inmate, but she's a human being who deserves respect, and I'm going to go talk to her, all right? Not only that, but also Joan Ferguson's arrival to the prison. So she had arrived in prison before. We saw it happen in season 4, fine. This season 5's Joan's arrival to Wentworth was completely different because the women know what she's done this time. They know that she killed B. Smith. Allie is in Wentworth. Listen, you know she's gonna want revenge. Allie was a fool for thinking that she could fuck Joan Ferguson up, but she had so much heart, man, to even try to do it. You know, that whole fighting scene where Joan just loses her shit and beats the shit out of everyone. That moment when she transforms into the wild bear, the beast in the yard, and fucks everybody up. No one's ever been able to beat the shit out of Joan Ferguson. Rita would have been able to beat the shit out of Joan Ferguson. Rita would have fucked Joan Ferguson up. I don't think Joan Ferguson would have won against Rita unless she would have got Rita in a compromising position behind her where she could have snapped her neck. Because we all know Joan Ferguson loves to snap a good neck, all right? So, boom, the other episode that I loved, that I thought was a best episode from season 5 is the last episode. Why? Because Joan gets her just desserts, all right? Will Jackson buries her alive in the forest, in the woods, in the middle of the night, okay? And leaves her there for dead. We all know the bitch didn't die. But besides her being buried alive by Will Jackson, which is what made it just even greater, is Frankie escapes from Wentworth. Frankie's escape was successful, and we knew, okay, as viewers, that this bitch was going to go off and prove some way, somehow, that she did not murder Mike Panisi. I had all the faith in the world in Frankie, and I loved when she went to go see Bridget, and she was like, wait for me, I'm coming back for you, or whatever the fuck she says to her.
I love you! And I'll be back!
But I was like, bitch, you should have crossed the street and gave her a kiss. You should have given her a kiss and then ran off. Whatever. I understand. She didn't want to put Bridget in a compromising position. But hello, fast forward to season 6. Look at what happens to Bridget. The bitch almost gets locked up. Which I think was a missed opportunity because Bridget in Wentworth as an inmate would have been fantastic. If anyone out there is curious to know how Bridget would have handled life as an inmate in Wentworth Correctional Center, feel free to revisit my Wentworth fanfiction, The Reckoning. All right, moving on to season 6. Season 6, it's the best episode. I don't want to sound too repetitive, but the best episode was the last episode. So Rita beats the shit out of Drago and leaves her a bloody pulp in the halls of Wentworth, right there on the floor, surrounded by the women, okay, and guards. They all knew in that episode that Rita was the truth, okay? No one in that prison could fuck her up. She's going to beat you down. She's going to leave you a bloody pulp on the ground, and don't fuck with her sister. You don't fuck with Rita. You don't fuck with Ruby, and just don't pick a fight with Rita because you're not going to fucking win. I want to give a shout out to Mari Winter.
What?
For always not being afraid of Rita, because that's heart right there. That's heart. She knew that she couldn't fight Rita. She knew she couldn't fuck Rita up, but she was still getting Rita's face and still talk her shit. Like, bitch, what? Not only does Rita beat Drago into a bloody pulp, okay, it was the aftermath of what she had done that made this episode so exhilarating for me. When they are dragging Rita like a fucking heavy ass bag of potatoes down that hall into the slot, and she is screaming to the top of her lungs, these screeches were crazy, okay? Rita in complete hysterics is just very entertaining for me to watch. So season 7's best episodes, 2 episodes, and it's the final 2 episodes, which involved the siege. Let me tell you something about the siege. It was something else. Okay, listen, that siege was fucking crazy, all right? Multiple deaths happened. We had the death of Costa, which nobody gave a fuck about because fuck that bitch, all right? We had the death of Mae Jenkins, which, if you don't know, is Boomer's mother, which was just like, yo. I'm so glad that they didn't kill Boomer, but I thought he was going to kill Boomer. When I saw that he killed her mother, I was like, all right, as long as Boomer is still with us, I don't care who dies. But at the same time, I was like, oh shit, he done killed Boomer's mother right in front of Boomer. Oh my God, Boomer, listen, my heart broke for Boomer because even though Boomer's mother was a bitch, she was still her mother. Poor Boomer, you know, she's been through so much. I hope the spin-off show that potentially may be coming to us in the future doesn't do her dirty in the ways that Wentworth did. But if they don't do her dirty and there's no drama, then what's the point? You know, there's gotta be a little drama and sadness. So besides fucking Costa dying and May, Boomer's mother, dying, Brody was shot to death by Ali Novak. Who would have thought? You know what I'm saying? Who would have fucking thunk it?
Ellie, don't do it.
Listen to him. Yeah, come on. You do as you're told, you stupid.
Fucking Vera goes into labor in the middle of the whole shit. Bitch, what a time for you to decide to go into labor. It wasn't Vera's decision. I understand that. It was Baby Grace's decision, which just goes to show that she's going to be a problem moving forward. Baby Grace is going to give Vera nothing but problems. I'm sure she's older now. Giving her nothing but grief. I mean, if you're going to choose to come into the world during the siege, then, you know, you're going to be a problem for the rest of your life is how I feel.
She's beautiful.
Will gets his heart broken in these episodes when he finds out the truth about the bitch he's been fucking on the low, Mari Winter, okay? How this is all her doing. She got these people into the prison to try to break her out of the prison, and now they done gone rogue and fucking took everybody hostage. When Mari tells Will, just open the gate, Will. Oh, and his face, that's when it was confirmed to him, this bitch ain't shit. And she is a part of this, you know, siege that's happening. This is her doing. I felt so bad for him because Will, he's so handsome. He's such a nice guy. Put the handsome shit to the side. He's a wonderful person and he did not deserve what Mari did to him. And I want to punch her in her face for doing that to Will. And I want to give Will a hug because he needs one.
Just open the gate, Will.
The best part of season 7's final episode involving the siege was the revelation that Joan Ferguson is still alive and living amongst the fucking homeless. You know, I knew something was coming only because of the way Rita kept looking out the window and she's seeing the sights. And I'm like, what the fuck is this bitch about to see on her way to this place that she's being driven to? Never in a million years did I think it was going to be Joan Ferguson standing by the fires surrounded by a bunch of vagrants, herself being one of them. Yo, the revelation of Joan being alive was one of the best moments in Wentworth altogether. Season 8, the best episode is not the last episode. Can you believe it? Oh, I spoke too soon. It's actually 3 episodes. Episode 1, episode 5, and the last episode. So boom, let's start with episode 1. So episode 1 of season 8 was just marvelous. Okay, why? Because we got to meet Luchelli for the first time. I fell in love at first sight. And let me tell you something. I love her. I love her so much. I still do. My love is unwavering. Also in episode 1 that I thought made it such a great episode was more Luchelli, okay? As fucked up as this was when she attacked Boomer in the showers and gets her finger cut off by Ali Novak at the end of the episode, I was just like, yo, what the fuck is going on in Wentworth? Like, shit is just really fucking getting serious up in this bitch. Who the fuck thought Ali would have cut her finger off? Yeah, we saw her shoot Sean Brody, but cutting someone's finger off is a totally different thing. Like, you have to really be a brutal ass bitch in order to do that. And it showed us that season 8 Ali was also not coming to play games. Even though her reign didn't last long, I knew that it wouldn't because deep down, she didn't have what it takes to be top dog. Luchelli was right. You're not top dog material, bitch.
Darling, you're not top dog material.
The reason why I love episode 5 of season 8 is because we got to see a softer side of Lou Kelly. So we got to see Lou and Reb in the bed. Reb is telling her, bitch, I love you and I ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? And Lou is like, if I've ever made you feel fear, whatever the fuck she says to Reb, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you ever get scared of me, blah, 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 run for the hills, I'll understand completely. And Reb is like, nah, bitch. Reb is just like, you're the love of my life. I'm going nowhere. And that's just the bottom line here.
But Reb, if I ever make you feel like I'm not afraid of you, and I'm not going anywhere.
And it was just really great to see this softer side of Lou Kelly, because I knew it was there. I knew it was there from the moment she looked at Reb in his eyes after they had crashed the vehicle when they were robbing the jewelry store. That's love. And then the final episode I loved is because Allie gets left for dead. It was one of the best cliffhangers in Wentworth. Like, hello, we did not know if she was going to live or die. I always knew that she was going to live. She just wasn't going to ever walk again because of the vibrations that happened when she got stabbed. I knew what that meant, okay? Paralyzation. And it is a sad thing. It was just such a fucking good episode. And seeing Allie just collapse on the floor like that, clinging to life yet again. Like, how many times did this bitch almost die? Far too many, if you ask me. To then be committed to a wheelchair for the rest of her days, I just thought it was a sad, sad story arc for Allie Novak. But it made for a great episode. All right, world. So now the final season of Wentworth, which is season 9. There are 3 episodes that I think are the best. Episode 2. And that episode is because, you know, the death of Reb Keen. And Lou's reaction. And Mari's reaction. And Sheila not giving a fuck about what she had done. Okay? And all of that shit that happened. I believe episode 2 is also when Lou kills Sheila. Which made for a perfect ending to a fucked up fucking situation. You know? And then Lou declaring herself top dog in the fucking cafeteria, in the kitchen, in front of all the women.
You did nothing! You did nothing! So I am declaring myself top dog!
Yo, Lou Kelly brought something to Wentworth that Wentworth was missing. And that was fire, okay? Fire and heart. She was all fucking heart. The next episode that I liked and that I thought was the best was the dunking of Judy Bryant. Because Judy Bryant was a fucking treacherous bitch, okay? Who deserved to be dunked. And I'll never get over Lou just telling them to drag her out the water. Bitch, let her drown, you know? I didn't always agree with the things that Lou did. But I know she did the things that she did for her own reasons. But seeing Judy get dunked like the sardine that she is in that fucking nasty water was everything to me. And so the next and final best episode is the final episode. Oh, man. So we had the bombing of Wentworth, okay? That lead up to the bombing when we kept seeing how much time we had left before the bomb went off. Yo, when I tell you my anxiety was through the roof. It wasn't until the bomb actually exploded that I felt some type of like... And I was able to breathe and relax because the bombing had happened. Now we just had to deal with the aftermath. And yo, what an aftermath it was. We had multiple deaths, okay? Never mind the guards and the inmates who died in the bombing. We don't care about them. We're going to talk about the main ones. Anne was killed by the one and only Joan Ferguson, okay? Saving Vera. Joan kills Anne, which was a beautiful, beautiful moment. I thought Joan was going to kiss Vera at least twice during that whole fiasco. When she hovered over her after Anne's death and when she was clearing her face of the debris out in the wilderness. Judy Bryant's treacherous ass was also killed by Wentworth. The building killed her, okay? What do you call those things? The building fell apart and stabbed her in the chest, in the heart area. She deserved it. The bitch had no heart. Joan escapes and Vera allows it. We also had Rita and Lou's fights. So Rita beat the shit out of my precious baby love, Luke Kelly. But let me tell you something. Luke Kelly held her own. Unfortunately, she didn't have what it takes to win the fight. And Rita fucked her up. But that whole fight, and then the both of them being dragged to the slot, kicking and screaming. Luke Kelly literally kicking and screaming. Rita was screaming, but her screams were, get the governor. I have something to tell him. Lou was on some shit like, don't put me in there. I loved how after the bombing, Allie was able to get her hands on that damn cell phone to save the fucking day as far as Rita and Ruby were concerned. I loved that Allie survived and didn't die in the bombing, okay? And that Will and Boomer survived Wentworth. Everyone lived, even Luke Kelly. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the people that died, they died. And then the others that were, they had to die. Judy, she had to die. So did Anne. Fuck these bitches, all right? World, it's your turn. In the comments down below, let me know what were your favorite episodes throughout the seasons. All right, world, if you enjoyed this video, you already know what to do. Like my shit. Subscribe to my channel if you've not yet already.